Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design. The urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design. The urban lounge where iron sharp iron. We build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Salute everybody, salute. Let's go to work, let's go to work, let's go to work. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. I am Urban. I appreciate y'all tuning in to this episode of The Lounge. We're going to have a good episode, like always, man, because y'all know over here we always talk about thought-provoking content. This episode is no different at all. To be quite honest with you, I want to hear y'all thoughts about this. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about this, right, I don't want to hear just no watered down surface level talk. I honestly want to hear y'all perspective on this for real, because I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about the conversation that we're going to talk about today, which led me to do this podcast talking about it. All right, but through this little mixed emotions about it, right, I'd still just be only getting surface level conversations with, you know, both parties. I have some people who agree with it. I have some people who disagree with it. I have some people who absolutely agree that children are a blessing in their life, and I have people who absolutely disagree and say that children are not a blessing in their life, you know. But once again, it only starts with this surface level talking. I don't know it's like that. I don't know the reason why it's like that. Maybe it's because some people don't want to offend each other or whatever the case may be. But over here, we're going to really talk about it. I'm going to present to you the different sides of the coin with this conversation that we're having right now. I'm going to give you the reason why people say that having children are a blessing in their life. And I'm going to give you the reason why people say that it's absolutely not a blessing in their life. And you make a determination whether in your personal anecdotal experience or children are a blessing in your particular life if you have children, or if you plan on having children. Are children a blessing in your life, or you on the opposite side say, hell no, fuck them kids. We're not fixing to do it, and I'm not going to do it, and I'd rather to remain child-free. So before we get into that conversation, those of y'all who are tuning in right now, catching the live, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, those of y'all who are catching the replay as well too, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the one show, because it helps the algorithm let you know that you want more of this thought-provoking content. Also, thank y'all so much for my new subscribers. They're in the building. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate my new subscribers, and also I appreciate everyone who been coming in on all my shorts that I've been dropping. I've been doing my very best to stay consistent on that, to give you that particular content, because I know that is something that y'all been wanting to do, and you're able to engage into the comment section. Now, those of y'all who are not familiar of what's going on, right, make sure you go over to my shorts, all right, because my shorts have a lot of engaging conversations happening, all right. So make sure you participate in the shorts and participate in the engagement as well too, in the conversations, because people are saying a lot, all right, preferably with men. Now, over here on the lounge, we normally focus on, men, because I believe that where you have spaces like this for men, it normally be shundered down per se, right? Where it seems like it's toxic or whatever, or wherever the weird things that these modern women be talking about. So over here on the lounge, we do talk about thought-provoking conversation that men do go through, dealing with modern women, dealing with marriage, relationships, different things like that. You know what I'm saying? That is how the way it is. Period. All right. So if you're not for it, if you're not for the content, then hey, I'm not holding you here. You could leave. But we normally focus on all that man improvement. We also call out these modern men as well too. We call them out by being either betas or simps or beta male simps. You know what I'm saying? We be calling out these Pookies and Ray Rays. They're out there as well too. Any type of men and women who are out there, right, and they're not beneficial to the overall improvement of the community, we call them out, period. And when I say community, I'm not just talking about black people. I'm just talking about the community as a whole, the culture as a whole, pertaining to everyone. Okay. So if you are them type of people that we talk about all the time, where y'all doing all this toxic stuff, where if it's modern women, modern men, we call it out over here on the lounge. That's facts. We call it out. We call it out. We call out the behavior for real. And we just don't call it out just for content or to get some shits and giggles out of it. We literally call it out because we literally do be wanting to hold people accountable. Because it's to my understanding that there are a lot of people out there, they're so used to just being in this, I call it bubble mentality, right? They're so used to being in this particular mentality, right, where they do not want to change, or they've been so conditioned and programmed or groomed to be that way, where they're not even aware of that they're behaving this way until somebody says something about it. But normally when somebody says something about it, right, when somebody says something about it, they become offended by it. This is the reason why we talk about it on here. We talk about it in such a way where we challenge accountability, the whole, these people accountable, so they have the choice to change. So when it's all said and done, they can't go back and say, man, I was never told it at all, period. That's what we do over here. Lionel, what's up with it? Now you late, bro. I started on time. I said 1:30. I changed the show time to 1:30, not 1 o'clock. Shoot. But we first get into the content once again. Appreciate those of y'all who are tuned into the podcast right now. Make sure you hit that thumbs up to support the channel because you want more of this thought provoking content. All right. So let's get into the conversation of the hour. All right. So the title of the show where we're talking about right now is having children. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? Once again, having children, is it a blessing or is it a curse? What do y'all think about this? Do y'all believe that having children is a blessing? Or do you believe that having children is a curse? What do y'all think about this? What led to this show is I did a show almost 2 weeks ago talking about Ayesha Curry, all right? I did a show talking about her, explaining to her how she keep constantly embarrassing her husband over and over and over again on these different podcasts, on these different shows, saying some, really outlandish things, okay? So we're going to revisit that, not in particularly that particular show, but we're going to revisit one of the things that she had said on that particular podcast episode, all right? And this is going to lead on into our main conversation for the hour, all right? And I want y'all to comment on her. Those of y'all who are watching it live, or if you're catching the replay of this video, I want y'all to comment on her. Do you believe that children are a blessing or they're a curse? And let me know. Let me know how y'all feel about this, all right? But let me share with y'all what Ayesha said about this matter, okay? Let me share with y'all what she had to say about this, all right? And this is going to start the conversation, okay?
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughter so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
So let's get into this conversation with Ayesha, all right? So I wanted to play the whole video in its entirety uninterrupted because I want y'all to understand the context of where she's coming from so we could go back and analyze everything that she's saying, okay? So let's go back and analyze this, all right?
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals, and I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that. It's not real. After we got married, we
So let's talk about this. All right. So Ayesha is stating that she did not want to have children. We're not going to tackle the part about the marriage because I covered that on a previous episode. All right. But she has stated that she didn't want to have children with Stephen. Okay. And also, she was saying that she was saying the reason why is because she wanted to be more career driven and stuff, right? And also the situation ended up quote unquote happening fast, right? Then also she stated that she had a conversation with Stephen, right? But she said that Stephen can't relate to her because he don't understand her feelings behind it. All right. So let's talk about it. So there is a saying that a lot of modern women are gravitating towards right now. Okay. That saying is this: my body, my choice. All right. And this statement or this declaration could go in any situation. It could go if you're single. It could go if you're in a relationship. And yes, it could go even as you're married as well too. My body, my choice. All the woman have to do is simply say, no, I do not want to do this. I do not consent to that. And that's it. There's a wrap. If the dude try to force himself upon that woman, then guess what? She has legal right to explore the legal options against that man. That's facts. Absolute facts. But what's interesting about this is that Ayesha literally allowed Stephen to procreate with her, meaning that they wasn't using any form of protection. She wasn't using birth control. He wasn't using protection or anything like that. So to me, that means that this wasn't one of those oops, my bad type of situation. It just happened, like she's trying to say, right? To me, that means that she purposely and willfully participated in the activity. She purposely and willfully participated in the activity. So what we should be asking ourselves is this. We should be asking the question, why? If you knew in the back of your head that you really didn't want to have children, right, then why did you participate in this? Why did you participate in the activity to begin with in the first place? Especially when you exercise your it's my body, I could do what I want to. So why would you do that in the first place? And then on top of that, when she said she was trying to explain it to Stephen. Now, on my other episodes, I revealed to y'all that Stephen Curry been brought up through a traditional household, through traditional values. He also been brought up through traditional Christian values. So to my understanding, one of the main things that Stephen do not believe in is aborting a child. Okay, he don't. So if that be the case, if both of them knew that this is something that they didn't want to happen, then once again, why they didn't exercise their ability to prevent it to happen? The answer to the question is this: Stephen wanted to have children. Stephen expressed it to her that he wanted to have children. Stephen expressed it to her that he wanted to build a legacy, preferably with Stephen, that he wanted to have a legacy of boys so that could continue on his legacy and his father's legacy of being in the NBA, so they could train them and do different things like that. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. So I believe this. I believe that Ayesha, she's seen that she was already getting these opportunities that not a lot of women can get. A lot of women do not qualify for the type of man that Ayesha has right now with Stephen. She knew that Stephen is literally up in the 1% of men that a lot of women do not qualify at all, period. And she literally qualified for that. So she knew that. She understood that. So guess what? She's saying, hey, even though I feel that I don't want to have children with this dude, I'm going to have children with this dude because I know that I am dating and even married to this 1% man, the same 1% man that I would never find ever again. There would never be another man like Stephen Curry. Ever. So what she did was what any other woman would do in a hypergamous ways, which is take advantage of the opportunity and went along and went with it and allowed this dude to procreate her, even though she didn't want to do it. That's my perspective on that. But I want y'all to understand this. Do y'all know that there are women out there who think the same exact way as Ayesha, but on a lower level? Now, once again, I mentioned to y'all that Stephen Curry, that he is considered to be on the 1%, you know what I'm saying? The 1% where a lot of women do not qualify for, right? So, however, the remainder percentage of men, women do qualify for, right? And so there are women out there who literally do think like this too. When they get a certain type of man, right? In their mindset, they're thinking that since I got this dude, I need to lock this dude in. And the best way to lock this dude in is to give him what he wants. The biggest thing that men want, other than, you know, companionship and sex, right, is legacy. So these women, knowing that men want legacy, right, they participate in it, knowing good and well that deep down inside, this is not what they want. Women like the ones I'm talking about right now, and women like Ayesha. This is the reason why they are in the situation that they're in right now. Because when you get women like this, right, they start questioning, why did I do this? Why did I allow this man to assimilate his sperm in me, and I had to go through 9 months to carry this child? Why do I have to go through post-mortem and everything? Why do I have to go through that? Why? Why do I have to go through that? The reason why is because they chose to do that, because they felt that this man was going to provide them a hypergamous opportunity where he's going to want to be the provision that they believe he's going to be. He's going to be the protection that they believe that he's going to be. And so they go along with it. They open up their legs and go along with it. Once again, there are a lot of women who think like this, for real. For real. And then go back on questioning their life. Keep it moving. Salute. Welcome to the lounge. And once again, welcome to everybody who tuned in. Today we are talking about having children. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? I want to get y'all perspective on this. I want to hear from y'all. Do y'all believe that having children in this modern time, is it a blessing to have children or is it a curse to have children? All right. So let's go ahead and continue on listening to what Ayesha had to say about this. All right.
We found out we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
So she ended off the conversation by expressing that even though she made the decision to have children with Stephen, right? Even though she became a mother, right? She still ended up experiencing the things that she originally wanted to do while she didn't have children. Okay. Which is to get her career together and all these other different things as well too. Now the question y'all should be asking yourself is, well, if that be the case, then why is she talking about this? Why is this an issue? Why is this a concern? Why would she even express this on this particular podcast. The reason why is because, once again, there are many women out there, they do things solely because of their hypergamous ways. I'm not going to even sit up here and say that women does this because they even love the dude, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say that they do these things because they're looking for a opportunity. They're looking for this dude to do the things that he said that he was going to do for her, which is for that protection and that provision. If he's going to do these things for me, then of course I could just offer up my body as a living sacrifice to carry these children for 9 months, then do it all over again if that's what he wants. That's what I believe these women would do. Because other than that, if y'all like really think about it logically, right? Logically, it wouldn't make no sense whatsoever for a woman to literally destroy her body for 9 months. Let's call it for what it is. Logically, it wouldn't make no sense for a woman to destroy her body for 9 months, 9 whole months, and probably even longer than that, depending on how the whole term of the pregnancy goes, right? Wouldn't make no sense for a woman to do that, period, unless they know that they're getting something out of it in return. I want y'all to also consider this as well too. This is also the reason why. This is also the reason why, y'all, that you have single mothers. You have some single mothers who become single mothers because they are getting something out of it. In this particular case, they're getting a child. They're getting the benefits of having a child because let's be real about it. There are many single mothers out there who are getting children just so they can get an opportunity to get paid out, which is on child support, which is with they could get government assistance depending on their living conditions, right? They can get help from step crash dummies as well too. They got all these different provisions there that out there for them. They get a certain type of incentive with their income tax return. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the child tax credit, where you could get an incentive for getting a return back because you have children now. So some of these women, that's why I'm saying that they are opportunists. You know what I'm saying? They know that if they do get pregnant by these children, that they are going to get something out of it in return. Because other than that, just understand this. If it wasn't no provision whatsoever, no provisions whatsoever for a woman to get anything out of having a child, right, or children, right, I guarantee that no woman in the planet will have children. That's facts. I guarantee it. I guarantee that no woman on the planet would not be having children. Guarantee. Every woman would get up to their age of stuff, right, where children born, right. Every woman would go to the hospital. They go to the OBGYN or wherever they go to, or how they check her, right. And every woman would either want to get their tubes cut or get their tubes tied. It's facts. But once again, since it is an opportunity for them, right, then that's why these said type of women would do it. A matter of fact, I'm going to say this. That's why a majority of the women who have been pregnant, regardless if you're a single mother, regardless if you're a wife, the reason why you did it, the reason why you allow your body to go through that trauma is because you seen the opportunity in it. And you know that since that dude is there, that man is there, he's going to provide that protection and provision that you're looking for due to your hypergamous ways, that it's a good trade-off to you. I got to trade off my body for 9 months to give this dude what he wants. Therefore, I could get all the provisions that he's going to give me in return. Let's call it for what it is. Once again, shout out to everybody who are tuning in. Once again, make sure y'all put into the comment section how y'all feel about this particular episode. I want to get y'all perspective on this, all right? I want to see if y'all agree with the things that I'm saying or not, or agree with the things that have been presented to you or not, all right? So keeping up what I Zuri said this, He said, hello, Miss Curry's story is similar to hers. I've been married almost 30 years. We got married young. I like that her story is being taken out of context for YouTube monetization, financial gain. Now, let's talk about it. First of all, let's deal with the whole YouTube monetization thing, all right? Now, my argument on this is this. Here's my argument. If we're going to evaluate and say that people are taking advantage of her for YouTube monetization, then why in the hell did Ayesha go onto a YouTube channel and do the interview? Once again, why did she go on a YouTube podcaster channel interviewing? Because the woman who interviewed her, she has a YouTube channel. She do. And yes, she is monetized. So if we're going to be fair in that, then we have to give an overall fair assessment, because at the end of the day, Ayesha didn't have to say what she said on that podcast, but she chose to do that. The woman who was interviewing her, she didn't have no cards put out there and telling Ayesha that you must say these things so we could get clout off of you. They didn't say that. Ayesha chose to say that. And so therefore, it's not the people who are making reaction videos to this, but it's actually the original source video who actually posted. The original source video, which is that podcast that she went on, actually posted the whole interview, and on top of that, clipped it not only on YouTube, but clipped it on TikTok and clipped it on Instagram and all these other social media platforms as well too. So, who's really the one who's making monetization off of this? Is it us who reacted to it, or is it the original source? I think it's the original source. I'm just saying. Just keeping it real. Just being real about it. Now, the other part about this, about getting married young, now I can relate to that. I understand that. I get that part. Okay, I get that when you're young, right? You tend to do things that'll be the the betterment of the relationship. And that also goes to what I was saying earlier about women in their hypergamous ways. If they get with a said man, right, and they believe that they do this potential, right, then guess what? They are going to allow that dude to procreate with them. Because that man is potential, that man is going to give them what they're looking for in that moment or in that time. And she also stated that she should be married for almost 30 years. Salute to your 30 years marriage, for real. Salute to that. Real talk. Because in this day and age, a lot of people don't make it to 30 years in marriage. You know what I'm saying? So we celebrate that for real. Salute to that. But like I say, I understand that. I understand the getting married part. I understand that with you get married, that you're not having children and stuff. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier about this, where once when that woman know that man potentially is going to want to do the things that he say he's going to do, then she's going to open up her legs for him. Because let's be honest, really the only main thing that she got to offer. Just keep it real. Now, I want to share this with y'all, and this is going to be another reason why we having this conversation on this episode, right? Hold up. All right, so I'm going to want to share this with you, okay? I had ran into another one fellow content creator, right? Those of y'all who been following my shorts and stuff, right? I have posted several of her videos on my shorts. All right. I had came across one of her short videos, right, pertaining to this Ayesha situation, and she has something very interesting to say about this. All right. So without further ado, I want y'all to hear her perspective on this, and I want to see if y'all agree with what she have to say on this. Okay. So here is her, and let's listen to what she got to say.
Y'all mad at Ayesha because she said she ain't see herself having kids. Dude, I didn't see myself having no kids. Actually, I don't have no kids. I got a child. But y'all cannot be mad. Like, it's funny because that mother and stuff, and take Ayesha out of it. I didn't think Ayesha said nothing wrong. I think that what she was genuinely saying is that she just didn't see that for herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just didn't see herself having kids. She didn't see that, but it happened. Y'all gotta understand, sometimes stuff just happen. People have kids from circumstances. People have kids because they think they're in love. People have kids, you know, because it's convenient. People have kids for security. People have kids out of circumstantial situation. Like, there's no real reason why people be having kids. It's just that when it comes to kids, a lot of people be lying about motherhood. Motherhood is not as lit as people try to make it out to be. And then I know in the comment section, y'all, well, speak for yourself, and oh, that's just how you feel, because my mom be pissed when I get on conversations like this. My mom had 10 kids. I'm number 8. It's 13 of us total. I have a total of 88 nieces and nephews, and out of all of those people in my family, I chose to have 1 kid. I was never with the having a whole lot of kids. I don't even know how I had a kid. And when I got pregnant, I didn't get pregnant because I wanted a kid. I got pregnant because I was trying to have sex. Don't even remember how I even popped up pregnant. I probably got
Oh, we're gonna get into all this because I know y'all want me to react to it too. So I'm gonna let her finish.
pregnant like by like that 3rd, 4th time of trying. And then when I got pregnant, it just was like kind of like, oh, you know, probably won't be so bad. You know what? I'm gonna rock it out and see how this mom stuff really do me. And it was cool, but baby, not cool enough to have no 2, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Like, kudos to y'all. More power to you. But baby, I never seen a bunch of kids in my future. I never seen me walking through the mall with a bunch of kids. Mom, can I get, no, you cannot get this. Like, wait, what? I know I'm a very, not selfish, because I'm a very giving person, but I am a very self-centered person. And I know that 1 was really all I could handle, and barely even handled that. Just playing. Really, like, killed the mothering thing. I gave it my all. My baby is beautiful. She's a great person, great child, great individual. She really is a reflection of me. But back on topic, I never seen car seats in the back seat of my car. I plan to be like this super rich, bossed up, just top tier woman. Not saying that you can't be with kids, but I just don't see the kids. Like, I just don't want to see kids in like my portrait of life. And the cold truth about that mother and stuff is, a lot of people gonna lie to y'all and tell y'all like, yeah, being a mom is lit. I love my kids with everything in me. Most people probably do love their kids with everything in them. But I guarantee you, if you was to ask most people, would they wait? Would they do it again? Would they have as many kids? Most women are gonna lie and say no, but I promise you, most women regret their children. Most women don't want their children. Most women did not want their children. Most women had children for trying to attach themselves to a man, trying to prove to another woman that she was sleeping with her man, just, you know, I'm gonna love this baby like I've never been in love before, and trying to heal, you know, stuff that the kid ain't got nothing to do with. Like, the reasons why people have kids are just so unfair to the kid that it's ridiculous. Like, you should not be trying to bring a child into the world to heal you. And then y'all say, well, babies are blessings. Yeah, they are blessings, but are you a blessing to that child? Like, what? Are you a good person to this kid? Do they even deserve you as a mom, a dad? Ain't forget the main reason why women be having a lot of kids is for security. Them girls be needing that bag, be needing that child support, be needing that check. Truth about motherhood is dark. It's just that nobody wants to talk about it. The truth is uncomfortable. The truth make people uncomfortable. So when a woman gets up there and say, you know what, never seen myself having a bunch of kids, but I'm here now. Wow, how dare she say that, and she has kids? Hey, motherhood is not that light. That's why every time I see a woman pregnant, I instantly be like, dang. No. The first kid, I think everybody get that first kid pass. But when I see people just having a bunch of kids, I just be like, what is she doing? Like, what? But I don't know. My mom gets very upset when I speak on stuff like this. So I'm going to cut this video right here because she be like, you can't say that. You don't know why people. Man, lady, listen here. Having kids is overrated. That's it. That's all. That's to you. No, ma'am. That's the truth.
So let's talk about it, y'all, because she had a lot to say. She had a lot to say on this. All right. I want to start this particular segment by stating this. All right. So those of y'all who been following the lounge, y'all know that I have no problem sharing a lot of my transparency in my prior relationships. All right. So this conversation reminds me of that. Okay. So let's go back to memory lane. All right. Let's go all the way back to our memory lane when I was in my first marriage. All right. In my first marriage, I had got married young, which I could, just like I told you earlier, I could relate to what Auxiliary was saying in the chat. Okay, I could relate to that. I had got married young. My ex-wife, she was almost like 6 or 7 years older than me. Okay, so I got married young. She's 6 or 7 years older than me, right? When we got married, right? I didn't mind having children, okay? And the reason why is because I was brought up from a traditional household. I was brought up that, hey, the big flex about being a man is for you to have a legacy. In order for you to have a legacy, you have to have children. You have to have sons. You have to have daughters. So I didn't mind having children. Now, if it didn't happen, then, it's cool. I was cool with it not happening. But I didn't mind it. But guess what? On the flip side of that, my ex-wife did mind. Because the reason why is because she already had a son born out of wedlock. So, of course, she was a single mother. So she already had a son, and she was already fine with the child that she had. I will argue to say this, is that in her mindset, she did not want to have any children with me. She didn't. But however, since I was providing her this opportunity that she always wanted, which is to get married, right, and have a family, guess what she did? She went on and compromised and had children with me. Now, this is what I was telling y'all earlier about how women become hypergamous and stuff, right? They do a trade-off. They're like, okay, as long as you providing me something that I want, then of course I don't mind sacrificing and giving you what you want. Why am I saying this? Because this goes along to what she's talking about right now. Now, I know those of y'all, especially men, y'all look at this, or you look at this video to my man, what's over here, blah, 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 blah. I get it. I understand that point of view. I get it. I understand that. But however, I want y'all to consider this, okay? Everything that she was saying, to be honest with you, I agree with her on that. Because deep down inside, let's be honest. Let's keep it 1,000. Deep down inside, if you, not only as a woman, but as men too, if you were to really think about it real hard, a lot of y'all would not even want to have children at all, period. Y'all wouldn't. Y'all wouldn't even want to have children. If it's no logical reason for you to have children, then guess what? You're not going to have children at all. And I'm just being dead honest with you. Just being dead real about it. Now, there are a certain percentage who literally do want to have children. They do. So they go through the process of, trying to have children. And also, consider this too, y'all. Have y'all ever noticed that the ones who really do want to have children, have y'all noticed that they always have a hard time getting pregnant and have children? Have y'all ever noticed that before? What? Or am I the only one who noticed that? The ones who literally do want to have children, they go through the whole process. They be timing the ovulation and going to the clinics and using all these different things to make it happen and stuff, right? They be set up here on going to get the dude checked and make sure he have a high sperm count. All these different things, right? Hey, y'all notice that the ones who literally do want to have children, that they have a hard ass time having children? Ain't that weird as hell? God damn. But versus the ones who don't plan on it, right? Who literally don't plan on having children, then the ones who be having children out of wedlock and everything. Or they be married and they don't plan to have children. It just, as she said and I say, it just happens that way. And they end up having children. So when y'all literally think about it from a logical perspective, a lot of y'all truly do not want to have children or didn't want to have children, but it came out of a convenience. I'm gonna say this: it came out of either a convenience for you or a inconvenience, depending on the situation. Let's keep it real. Now, with my particular situation, right, it came out of a convenience because it was a trade-off. She had got it what she wanted, so therefore I had got it what I wanted. So we ended up having 3 wonderful children together. And guess what? After when, a matter of fact, I just thought about this. A matter of fact, after when we had our youngest daughter, right? After we had our youngest daughter, guess what she ended up doing? She said enough is enough. She's no longer going to have children. And guess what she did? She ended up getting her tubes snip, snip, snip. Well, she couldn't have children no more. Facts. Because at that point, she said she was done. At that point, she wanted to exercise her body, her choice. And she literally did it. Whereas she no longer could have children. And yes, we're still married at the time when she did it. A matter of fact, now that I think about it, it had happened right after she had gave birth to our youngest daughter. Right after she gave birth to our youngest daughter, she told the doctor, go ahead and, do what you got to do my tubes because I don't want to have no more children. And guess what? I couldn't stop her. Even if I disagree with her, I couldn't stop her. Because, just like I say, y'all body, y'all choice. Her body, her choice, right? So she went on and did it. Went on and did it. So, once again, we are examining this question and being honest about this, being realistic about it. Our children truly are a blessing, like I said is, or are they literally curses or something you just decide to do? Now, she like I say, she said a lot of things that I agree with. A lot of things that she said I agree with.
Into the world to heal you. And then y'all say, well, babies are blessings. Yeah, they are blessings, but are you a blessing to that child? Like, what? Are you a good person to this kid? Do they even deserve you as a mom, a dad?
Now, the reason why I wanted to play this particular part is because there are a lot of, let's keep it real, both women and men out there who decided to procreate together, right? And they're not even good people, or they procreated for the wrong reasons. They didn't procreate because it was a trade-off that they're going to get something out of it in return. They procreated strictly because of their feelings in the situation. Now, I don't want y'all to consider situations of, molestation and rape and all the stuff that are into the conversation, because we're not talking about that, because that is one of them situations where it happens, but it's not super, super rare. I mean, super, super thing that happen all the time, per se. Okay? So I don't want y'all to consider that. I don't want y'all to do that, because I know that's what y'all going to say. Urban, what about the ones who've been molested and raped? So what about them? No, we're not talking about that. Okay? Not in this particular conversation. All right? But there are both men and women out there who have children for the wrong reason. For the very wrong reason. She mentioned on one of the reasons, and one of the reasons I can relate to this, all right? Now, one other thing that I have shared with people, right? I don't know if y'all remember this or whatever and stuff, right? But I do have another daughter, so I have a total of four children, 4 blood children, and 2 stepchildren, all right? So, out of my blood children, my youngest daughter, right, was born from another woman, okay? Now, the reason why she came about is because of what we're talking about right now, what she said and what I'm going to want to share with y'all right now. It's not because out of love. It's not because of, you could gain something out of it per se. It's simply because it was used to be a form of weaponization. I'm going to call it for what it is. Do I love her with all my heart? Yes, I do. She's a sweetheart and everything. You know what I'm saying? But we got to keep it real. We got to be honest and keep it real for what it is. She wasn't a product out of love like the other three children were. She wasn't. She wasn't that product out of love. She was a product out of convenience for her. She was a product out of leverage. Because at that particular time, we were a failed relationship. We wasn't married or anything like that. We were just in a relationship at that time. Okay? So we was literally a failed relationship that just so happened, that situation just so happened the way that it happened. And she ended up becoming the product of that. Her mom had told me this. Her mom has said that God has spoke to her in a dream and told her that her child is going to be a blessing in her life and her child is going to change her life. And so therefore, you shouldn't abort this child. Because she had the tendency, she had a very, very high track record of aborting a lot of children. A whole lot of them. If she don't abort them, she end up miscarrying, one or the other. But majority of it came from abortions. So she had this very, very high track record of aborted kids. So she said in this particular situation that she ended up having this divine revelation, a divine dream from God, and God told her that this child is going to be a blessing in her life, and she needs to have this child. And guess what she ended up doing? She had a child. She had her. So that's why I'm telling y'all that there's some women out there, they do it for not the reasons that you think of, that hey, this is something that you need to do, whatever. Sometimes women do things, it be based on their own personal feelings and emotion behind it. Some women will have children because they feel like if they have that child with that dude, then they can want to lock in that dude and could have a continuation of a relationship with that dude, regardless if they are actually together or not. That's fact. That's facts. I'm going to be honest and be real with y'all on this as well, too. There are men who think the same exact way. Yeah, I found out. There are men who think the same exact way. They'll purposely get this woman pregnant because it's a failed relationship and they still want to be connected to that said woman, no matter what. So end up becoming that baby daddy, just so they can have that connection, just so they can pop up anytime they want to and, have sex with her, then leave, or whatever it is that he want to do. They'll literally do stuff like that. Facts. But what's also interesting about her particular conversation is this. Now she's on a stance with agreeing with Ayesha about the children and stuff, right? But I kind of questioning it, all right? The reason why I question it is because she did had a follow-up video, all right? But we're not going to get into the follow-up video yet because I'm sure that a little bit later, all right? Once again, make sure, those of y'all who are tuned into the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up because it helps the channel out a whole lot. We are talking today about having children. Is it a blessing or a curse? So once again, do y'all believe that those of y'all who have children right now, do you believe that having children is a blessing to you, or do you believe that it's a curse to you? I'm gonna say this. Due to me making the choice and decision to procreate with the women that I procreated with, right? My children are absolutely a blessing to me. Now I don't know about they mother, but to me they're absolutely a blessing to me. They are. Now, is it challenging raising children? Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it's challenging raising children. The reason why is because you be dealing with so many nuances with raising children. You be dealing with, depending on the type of gender you have to deal with personalities. You have to deal with school. You have to deal with feeding them, clothing them. You have to deal with when they become sick. You have to deal with them becoming teenagers, as I'm dealing with right now, because I have teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Other than the youngest one, you got to deal with teenagers. I have one adult now. You got to deal with it when the child becomes an adult. So you got to deal with that as well too. So there are so many different nuances, so many different levels that you have to deal with while raising children. So yes, it could be very, very hard. It could be very, very challenging. But every moment of it and stuff, right? Every opportunity that I had to spend with them, I enjoyed it. Whether it was a short period of time, whether it was a long period of time, I enjoyed every opportunity that I spent with my children. Facts. But there are other people out there, both men and women, who can't say the same thing. There are other men and women out there who say that their children are not a blessing, but they'll say that their children are a burden to them. And the reason why is because of what Ayesha was saying earlier and stuff, right? Where she was sitting up here saying that there are things that she wanted to do and she really couldn't do at the moment because she was a mother. And she had to wait till later on down the line to do it. There are many men and women who think like this for real. Like, man, I can't do the stuff that I want to do. I want to go and travel stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I can't travel because it's expensive. Yes, it's expensive traveling with children. It is. Absolutely it is. And the system made it that way too. That's the messed up part, is that the system literally made it that way. Made it that way. But yeah, so then like I say, I understand. I get it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But before I get into showing her out a little bit more, I want to go into another area. All right. I shared this on one of my shows before, right? And I didn't go into more detail into this, right? But there are a community of women who believe that women should stay child free. Once again, there are a community of women who believe that women should stay childless and child free. All right. I want to present to y'all this particular content creator. All right. This particular content creator that I'm gonna share with y'all, she not only believes this, right, but she create content talking about this where she believes that women should stay childless and child free. A matter of fact, she is currently living her life with that declaration that she's going to stay childless and child free. All right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and present to her. I have shared, like I say, I have shared out her videos before talking about this. So right, I didn't go into a whole lot of details into this. Maybe in this episode, I go a little bit more detailed and talk about this. All right. So without further ado, I want y'all to listen to her particular perspective about why she believed that women, especially women her age or younger, or women in general, should go childless and should not have children.
I've escaped 80% of life's problems by not having children. So I did a video about this on my YouTube channel last year, and it was my most viewed video to date, where I talk about how the only thing that I have to worry about when I wake up in the morning is, do I want coffee or tea? And there's no legitimate reason under the sun for me to ever change that. A lot of people don't have a deep understanding that for many of us child-free women, the decision to be child-free really just comes from not wanting to make our lives harder than it has to be. Because it's like, why would I do that, right? I talked about how I don't have to worry about stuff. And then if I had kids, I would have to worry about a bunch of things, like overnight. If I, right now in my life, I no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck because I used to live like that a long time ago. And now I don't have to. Like, I even have things on auto pay now, because we always joke about, you know, you made it if you got things on auto pay. Like, just take it out of this account. You know what I mean? I have stuff like literally coming out of this account on auto pay, like every week, every month, whatever. And so I literally would go right back to living paycheck to paycheck again and struggling again if I had children. And I have no intentions on doing that. And I don't understand why that's hard for people to get. It's almost like people want you to be miserable with them because they're miserable. Because it's like, what part of I'm comfortable and I don't want to change that do people not get? Like, and if you're pretending to not get it, I'm thinking it is because you're miserable and you're upset that other people won't be joining you in your misery. I never have to know what it's like to have a kid unalived in a school, pew-pewing, or to be bullied or harassed or unalived in any way, assaulted in any way. Like, I'm never going to have to experience that. I don't want to experience these things, you know? A lot of times you guys think that going through things builds character. And I'm like, maybe it does in some ways, depending on what it is and who it is. But I don't want to go through my kids being harmed and unalived to build my character. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through homelessness to build my character. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked hard for. I don't want to go back to living paycheck to paycheck to build my character. I would rather build my character by reading books, by learning about different cultures and learning about people and studying human psychology and studying plants and animals and whatever. You know what I mean? Studying the universe in which we live in, right? I would rather build my character by getting out and helping to volunteer at soup kitchens and stuff. Like, that is how I build my character. And I don't associate struggle with building character, especially if it's something that you can avoid. I am not about to get up every day and make my life a living hell just because people think that's what makes a real woman or that's what makes a real adult when you have all these 1,000,001 responsibilities. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'm also speaking for all the other child-free women out there, and even women who have kids but are like, I'm one and done. You know what I mean? Or I'm two and done, and that's it. Y'all got me effed up. So people have the right to live their lives how they want. But the reason why I say I escaped 80% of life's problems by not having kids is because most problems that women have in their lives tend to come from the stresses of parenthood or motherhood, and also from whatever spouse that they're living with or having to deal with, right? It is what it is. Those are the two, a man and some kids. Those are the two major stressors on a woman's life. Of course, you got money problems, and you have all these other things, the beauty standards and all that crap, right? But the main two things, kids and a man. And I am without both. And I plan on being without both forever. The kid thing is for sure not happening. Done, right? I can't wait till I hit menopause. That way, nature wouldn't make that decision for me. Then I ain't got to worry about it no more. But the whole aspect of being in a relationship, like, there's like no benefit for me to do that. It's like no benefit. I see all the ways in which it can ruin my life. I see zero ways where it can make my life better. So if I take away those two major problems that cause women the most strife in their lives, what strife do I really have to deal with now? Little stuff like don't be late to work, or make sure my Amazon packages come on time. My Fashion Nova jeans need to be here before Friday because I plan on taking them on my trip. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things that I worry about every day, and I want to keep it that way. If you think it's selfish and self-absorbed or whatever, then that's too bad. But I plan on being selfish and self-absorbed until the day I die. Anybody who have a problem with that, that's exactly what it is. It's your problem. Scamper off and find a way to deal with it. And I'm out.
So let's talk about it, y'all. Once again, I wanted y'all to hear her full perspective uninterrupted for a reason. All right. So let's talk about this. All right. So I've been watching a lot of her content, you know what I'm saying, to understand her perspective and understand the reason why she believe in the things that she believe in. One of the major things that I have gathered out of her and also the community that she's a part of, right, is that this is a community of feminist women. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that her and her community of feminist women, right, it's kind of different from like watching other women like Cynthia G and, you know, all these other women that be simply talking about forget men, period, and stuff, you know, and all this other stuff. Her particular community, they all about this woman living the best version of their life, period. That you don't necessarily have to have a man to fulfill your life and your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And to be quite honest with you, I actually agree with them in that perspective. Because I agree. I agree that not every woman is even remotely qualified to be married to a man, period, to be honest with you. And that's with any man. I'm not talking about just a 1%er or nothing. I'm talking about any man, period. I believe that there's certain women out there that's just flat out not qualified to be married, period. But they end up being groomed or manipulated to get married due to social norms. Social norms will sit up here teaching, telling them that this is your purpose, or if they're part of, you know, any type of religion and stuff, right? Religion would sit up here and manipulate them and tell them that part of your purpose of being a woman is that you need to not only procreate with this man, but you also need to marry this man. Not understanding that we're living in modern times where let's keep it real. Keep it real. Some of these dudes are full of shit.
That's bullshit.
Some of these dudes are full of shit. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest about it. Let's be real about it. So me understanding, you know what I'm saying, where she's coming from and where her community coming from, I get it. I understand it. And quite to be honest, you know what I'm saying, it's good that these women are like that, you know what I'm saying? It's very good that these women are like that, where they don't want to have no children. They don't even remotely is going to try to have children. All right. The reason why is because guess what? There are men out there who are the same exact way, who believe in the same exact thing, where they want to be child free, where they don't want to have no children. Hell, this man out there who not only don't want to have children, but this man out there who don't even want to be married. All they want to do is just for that brief moment have companionship, and that's it. They're not trying to look for no damn partnership or nothing like that. They're just looking for companionship, nothing more, nothing less. And there are a community of men who are like that, who are looking for that, seeking that. So these type of people in these communities, hey, I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. If you don't want to have children, fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't have children. Just don't do it. Nothing wrong with it at all. But what's interesting is that she been having pushback on her videos where you get, check this out, she get women who goes against her content and saying that there's something wrong with her, that she needs to get with the program, that is going to mess with the culture by her not having children, all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
That's bullshit.
But like I say, I agree with it, because you do need a community of women who are like that, who are child-free, who are childless. To be honest with you, I'm thinking about this. Back in the ancient days, right, in the ancient times, you had different set of women out there, right? You had a set of women that, you know, who wanted to get married, who wanted to be wives. Matter of fact, some of them qualified to be queens, you know, different things like that, right? And they end up on doing that thing, right? But you also had other group of women who's known as concubines, right? Who's known as sex slaves, who are sex workers, or different things like that. Or just regular single women who did not want to be married. And their whole sole purpose of life is just to live their life, you know, through their particular purpose. Through that particular purpose. Once again, I see nothing wrong with it. I see nothing wrong with that at all, period. We need that. Here's my argument on this, all right? Here's my argument. Through my experience, I have seen this happen. Even though that they say that they want to be child-free, that they want to live their life child-free, and they are doing it, right? What I have seen time and time again is this. They will live their life child-free, right? Then guess what? They end up on one day end up just so happen either go out on a date, or they may be at a bar, or they may be out with their friends, or they may be at a party, whatever the case may be, right? And they just so happen to meet this man there, right? They meet this man there, right? They already have this attitude that I want to be child free, whatever. They meet this man, and the man agrees to their terms. Like, sure, I ain't trying to have no kids neither. And so that man do everything possible to prevent her from having children. He'll make sure that she have a plan B, make sure she take that plan B. He'll make sure that she get checked out where, she's not able to have children. He even want to protect himself as well to wrap it up, whatever the case may be and stuff, right? So he'll do all these things to provide for her or provide provision for her hypergamous ways in this situation, which she don't want to have no children. What I see happen is this. I see happen is that once when that woman meet that type of man who's part of their program, right? Guess what end up happening? They end up not only befriending this dude, but they end up slowly but steady start becoming in a relationship with that said dude. Then once when they end up becoming in a relationship with that said dude, and that dude is being consistent with what they want, right? Guess what happened? They end up forgetting about all this child-free thing, child-bearing thing. They don't want to have no children. They end up forgetting about that, or they end up abandoning that because they go back, or it's almost like they hit a factory reset button, right? They literally hit a factory reset button, and guess what they doing? Now they want to have children. I see it happen time and time again where that factory reset button hit and they see such great potential in this dude, right? And guess what? That factory reset button hits. Then next thing you know, one day, hey, babe, I just been really thinking really hard that maybe we should have a child together. And he look at you crazy like, the hell? I don't want to have no children. I thought you didn't want to have no children. Well, you're such a great guy, and I just want to have a family now, and this and that and there. So she'll literally abandon her belief and her ideology due to her nature, which is her hypergamous nature. Because let's keep it real, let's be honest. And men say this all the time. Men say this all the time about women. You could give women the world, and that's not good enough. You could give women the galaxy, and it's not good enough. Hell, you could give women God, and that shit not good enough. Meaning this, that they always going to want more. And the reason why they're going to want more is due to their hypergamous nature. They always going to want more. So that's why I end up seeing happen in these situations that if she run across the right dude at the right moment, at the right time, who participate in her standards and stuff, right? And he's doing that consistently. Just, you know what? Like, I'm not talking about like months consistently, but years consistently, right? And doing it over and over and over again. Guess what? Her factory reset button is going to hit. Well, she's going to like, you know what? I just see such great potential in this dude. Now I want to marry him. Now I want to have a child with him. And that's what normally end up happening. So I'm just saying. Now let's revisit this young lady and stuff, right? Because I want to revisit her because she had a follow-up video, right? And I want y'all to hear what she had to say, all right?
I'm just sitting here thinking to myself that I never had any altercations with my daughter dad. There's always been like a great amount of respect, very balanced co-parenting relationship. I have never disrespected my daughter's dad around her. We've never had really any altercations. There's just always been a genuine line of respect. And I had my daughter when I was fresh 18. He was 19. But this is the thing. I knew that my daughter's dad was a hood dude from the beginning of time. He was always in the streets. That's just what it was. But at 18, you kind of like stuff like that. When I was 18, I was right in the streets with him. I'm with my dude. We on 24-inch rims. We counting money. We making runs. That seemed like it was the life.
Remember what I told y'all earlier about women in their hypergamous ways, depending on what it is that they're looking for. Remember when I told y'all that, right? Her situation is no different. And I'm honestly convinced that every woman is like this. Every woman have a hypergamous nature depending on what it is that they're looking for. Some women, like in her situation, she like hood dudes. There are other women who love hood dudes. They know that the dude is a hood dude, and they love that about the dude being a hood dude, and they'll literally give their bodies up to have children with these hood dudes, knowing good well this dude ain't shit. He's not gonna do nothing for her whatsoever. But let's continue.
When I popped up pregnant at 18, I'm not knowing, you know what I'm saying, what I'm up against. I'm just pregnant. I'm 18, whatever. But I can recall him telling me, like, if I was you, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't keep no kid, because at the time he had just got locked up, and he's like, I'm looking at 8 to 11 years, you know, so if I were you, I wouldn't really keep no kid, because I'm genuinely not going to be able to help you with the kid. And I'm like, you know what, that's cool, you know, I'm not going to keep it, I'm going to just go ahead and, you know, get rid of it, whatever. Long story short, my mom ended up telling me, like, you don't got to get rid of no kid, you know what I'm saying, you graduate this year, you'll be 18, you know, we going to go ahead and just, we going to handle it. So
remember what I said earlier about this too, where here's the dude, he's thinking logically about the situation. In this particular situation, he knew that he's going to be locked up and stuff, right? And he knew he was not going to be available for her to provide that protection and provision that she was looking for when she fell in love with him, right? So he ended up recommending to her, like, hey, since this situation happened, you know, you need to go ahead and abort that child, you know what I mean? Because it's not going to work out. But guess what ended up happening is what I said earlier, is that due to social norms would dictate and tell this woman that it is better for her to hold on to this child. Knowing good and well logically, it's not a good idea.
I have my mom and my family and my village in my corner, and still do. And so I roll with that. And so because I made that decision at 18, even at 18, I knew and I know that I made the decision to keep my daughter with a man who had been in the streets, with a man who had made it very clear, like, hey, I don't think you should keep the kid. I'm looking at 8 to 11 years. Although he didn't necessarily get the 8 to 11 years, he's always been in and out of the system just because probation, papers, whatever. Point of matter.
Now, I real quick, I do want to stop you, because I also want to remind y'all of this as well too. If y'all go back and review the video, right, go back and rewind this live, right, you were her in the first video I had with her, right? She clearly stated that she wasn't aware of that she was getting pregnant. She wasn't aware of sex or nothing like that. But according to this video that she did, a follow-up video, she's telling y'all that she is consciously aware of the decision that she made, which is to allow this dude to procreate with her. Okay? So I find it interesting that in this situation that she's saying one thing but saying the exact opposite in this other video.
Is, why would I go out of my way to disrespect a man who pretty much already told me what it was? I never went out of my way to disrespect my daughter's dad, because no matter what, in the back of my mind, it's like, well, you made the conscious decision to keep her. You made the conscious decision to raise this kid. You knew what type of man the man was back then, so just because you changed don't mean that you gotta be upset if somebody else chooses not to change, or if somebody else chooses not to make good decisions with their life. His decisions don't got nothing to do with me. And this is why we have to be mindful of who we having kids by, be mindful of our decisions, and be okay with our decisions. I was okay with my decision when I made the decision at 18. So all of that complaining and trying to, it's like women complain and y'all lie and y'all try to say things like, well, he wasn't always like that. These people usually always be like that. I'm not saying that it can't happen for a man to just up jump and just change. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of y'all be lying. Y'all be knowing that these people already be who they be, but y'all just be hoping y'all can change them. Then when you realize that you can't change these people, now y'all want to try to have the world to sympathize with y'all. You seen every red flag and you had every reason not to have a kid by these people, but y'all still choose to have these kids by these men. And then when you realize that you ain't the woman that can tie him down, you ain't the woman that can get him to see different, you ain't the woman that can get him to change his behavior, you're not the one that can get this man to do what you thought he was going to do, y'all end up having these kids, and now you want to complain to the world and cry to the world, and you want sympathy, and but he wasn't like that, and but why this, why that. Man, y'all gotta start being comfortable with your decisions. This is why I do not vouch for women just having a bunch of kids. Unless you are 100% ready to take on that role, no complaining, chin up, don't have none. Cause I ain't never really complained, and my baby just walked the stage. But you can't tell everybody how to handle things, and that's just how you handled it. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to handle nothing. I'm just simply saying if you know you can't handle it, or if you got to ask yourself, can you handle it, then you probably can't handle it. Once I realized at the age of 18 that I knew I was going to be a single mom because her dad went to jail and he didn't do the 8. He ended up doing 6 though. He did 6 flat. I never was like, oh my God, you left me with this kid. And then when he got out, he went back. And I didn't say, oh my God, you going back. And then he got out and went back. I just didn't. I understood my assignment as a mom. I understood the assignment as a mom. Only advice I could ever give to any woman and any young woman. Just when you make these decisions, life-changing decisions, make sure it's for you. You know, make sure it's something you can handle. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, it's something that you are aware is happening and you are like kind of like ready for whatever. Because when it comes to being a mom, you just got to be ready for whatever. At the age of fresh 18, I moved out of my mom's house. I got my car. I got my job. My daughter was born in July. I had a house, a car, and a job by February of the next year, and I never looked back. I knew right then and there I had to be a mom, and a single mom at that. I had my little village. I had my little help here and there, but I always had to maintain and do it. And her dad is, you know, cool dude. I have nothing bad to say about the man. This ain't about her dad. I'm the one that gave her this dad. I'm the one that probably, if anybody got to take the blame, it's me. Mommy gave you this dad. Mommy is the one that chose this hood dude to be your dad who can't stay out of trouble. So why would I be ever disrespecting that man when I made this conscious decision to have this kid? Y'all got to start being a little bit more honest about your decisions and quit playing victim, because you're not a victim, baby. You made that decision and you made that bed. Y'all got to lay in it. Stay off this internet crying about being a mom. You made that decision, baby.
And so once again, I agree with her on her point. You know what I'm saying? Other than her line earlier about her didn't know if she was gonna be pregnant and all the good old stuff there. She planned that. They planned that, you know, facts. And then one thing that I also want to point out is that she's doing what not a lot of women would do, is really, and that's really hold themselves accountable for the choices, decisions that they made. Once again, she stated that she was going after this dude because that's what she wanted. She wanted this hood dude. She wanted this hood dude who's going in and out of jail because that's something that she liked. She was attracted to that, you know what I'm saying? So she allowed that dude the opportunity to procreate with her. So it's good that she's holding herself accountable for that. It's real good. But however, you still have to want to consider the situation too. Consider that this child is growing up with a father who's in and out of the system, meaning that this dude's making all these mistakes, not because the white man is after him or different like that, but he making these mistakes because he is choosing to do that, because he been groomed and programmed to be that way. So he's making all these mistakes, right? And it's literally like her daughter do not have a father because he's really not present in her life how the way that he need to be. Okay. So when y'all think about situations like that and stuff, right? You should question that. You should question whether if it was a blessing to have this child in this particular life, in this particular situation, or is it a curse? Because in this particular situation, I'm gonna be real about it. I'm gonna be honest. In that particular situation, I think that it wasn't a good decision at all for her to have this child. I think it wasn't a good decision for her to listen to her mom in this situation, because if that be the case, if she wouldn't have only went with her first instinct, which is to go ahead and get rid of this child, then her life would have been very, very different. You know what I'm saying? Or, I don't know. Or she'd been doing something else, because obviously she have a type of dude that she go after, obviously. So I don't know. Maybe then again, this child is a blessing in her life, because if she didn't have the child in her life, then yeah, she probably been going after either this dude or another dude who's similar like him, and probably did something even worse. So maybe this child helped her out to help her mature or whatever. I don't know, but like I say. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this particular episode. Do you believe that children are a blessing or a curse? Do you believe the children that you have currently in your life, do you believe that they're a blessing in your life, or you believe that they're a curse in your life? I already shared with y'all briefly my story with my children, and I share with y'all that overall, all four of my blood children, you know what I'm saying, all four of them are not a curse in my life; they're a blessing. Now, keep in mind that God, the mother of their children, have they leveraged the children for their advantage? Situations. Absolutely, they did. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's not a curse to me. You know what I mean? It's actually a blessing because once again, I enjoy all the opportunities that I have to spend with them, watching them grow up and watching them mature into the adults that they're going to mature into. I enjoy every opportunity. I enjoy every opportunity of educating them and equipping them for what they're going to deal with when they become adults. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy the time spent with them, the good, the bad, and the ugly times as well too. You know what I mean? So, do y'all feel the same as that, Quay? Do you enjoy spending time with your children that you have? Do you enjoy being a parent? Do you enjoy the good and the bad and the early times that you spend with your children? Or do you believe that your children are an absolute curse in your life and it was like the worst decision that you ever made? Or do you believe, finally, with the other young lady that I presented earlier and stuff, right, where she was declaring that she's going to stay childless and child-free? Do you believe that this is the way to go, that, you should stay childless and child-free for the rest of your life so you could fulfill your full purpose of life without having nobody on the back burner that you got to take care of? How you feel about that? Other than that, appreciate each and every last one of y'all who tuned into the stream today. Once again, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up as y'all leave the show. Hit the thumbs up to support the channel. And other than that, I will see y'all again on the next episode, or I'll see y'all in the comment section on my shorts. All right, peace out. Y'all have a great day.